Hi, I'm Kim Monning. Take a look at this code. According to a man who is one of the world's most successful hedge fund managers, there are thousands of codes just like this, each unique, each 18 or 19 letters and numbers. And Larry BENEDICT claims that if you know one of these codes, you could potentially skim up to $6,361 in cold, hard cash right into your bank account. All you have to do? Type the code into any ordinary brokerage account. With just one code, you're in, and you're potentially skimming a $6,361 windfall. This strategy is so simple and powerful that it feels almost illegal. But to be clear, this type of skimming doesn't involve any illegal activity. In fact, every step was regulated and approved by the SEC. Using Larry BENEDICT's Skim Codes strategy, you could have skimmed 7 times, 10 times, and even 17 times more than regular investors made from the incredible bull market we're seeing today, all without buying a single stock. During this interview, you'll learn the secret to skimming $6,361, $11,145, and even $17,350. And you don't need to know a thing about investing or the financial markets to skim this cash. All you will need is a skim code, and Larry will tell you exactly how to find them in this video. Plus, you will need about 5 to 10 minutes a week to do this. That's it. Right now, Larry will show you how to get started as soon as tomorrow morning. So without further ado, let's meet the man behind this remarkable strategy, Larry BENEDICT. Larry, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Kim. I'm happy to be here, and I'm ready to go.
All right, me too, Larry. But I want to address something right up front. You know, a lot of folks have made serious money in stocks this year. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ keep breaking records. Tech and AI stocks have gone parabolic, but it feels weird out there. We're seeing markets swing hundreds of points on a tariff announcement, a comment from the Fed, or even just a single tweet from the president. So just to make sure we're on the same page here, we can use skim codes to go for big payouts without buying any stocks?
Kim, that's correct. And actually, with the way these skim codes work, we can collect cash no matter what the market does. It doesn't matter what the Fed decides. It doesn't matter what headline flashes across CNBC. All of the noise that drives everyone crazy, like tariff wars, interest rates, it doesn't change a thing for me. Because with the right skim code, it doesn't matter whether stocks go up or down.
You know, Larry, if this were coming from anyone else, I would be very skeptical. I mean, a code that can help you make money whether the markets go up or down, it sounds crazy. But you are quite simply one of the most widely followed and respected traders on earth. For example, Barron's ranked your hedge fund, Banyan Capital, in the top 1% worldwide. You once pocketed $95 million in pure profits, while the S&P 500 cratered 37%. And your Chapter 3 in Jack Schwager's book, Hedge Fund Market Wizards, right alongside billionaires Ray Dalio and Joel Greenblatt. Quite a resume.
Well, Kim, I'm really proud of that.
Well, there's a reason you were featured in that book, Larry. I've got to say, the same reason oil barons, Wall Street banks, and royal family members have paid millions for your advice. Your trading ideas handed your fund more than $250 million in cash profits. And today, you're going to reveal your latest money-making breakthrough. I'm talking about these skim codes. You say they are a straightforward way to consistently skim hundreds to thousands of dollars, whether the market goes up or down.
Right. We've been sending out these codes for several years now. The results have been phenomenal. We've been able to crush the market 10 times, 17 times, and with another skim code, you could have beat the market 36 times.
Wow. So for every $1,000 invested I could have made in the S&P, I could have made as much as $36,000 with the right skim codes?
Exactly, Kim. Some of my followers recently received a code allowing them to do exactly that. And it's important to note they did this without buying any stocks at all.
But let's go ahead and just address the elephant in the room, Larry. You're an old school Wall Street trading legend. You made your money the old-fashioned way, running one of the world's best hedge funds, managing money for huge institutional investors. So I've got to be honest with you. I never thought I'd hear you talk about something that sounds even a little bit gimmicky. Secret codes to profit from the market. That really doesn't sound like the kind of risk that you'd ever take.
You're right, Kim. I'm not a gambler. When you run a hedge fund, you have billionaire clients breathing down your neck 24/7. You can't afford to gamble.
No.
That's exactly why these skim codes are so powerful. They give everyone the chance to make money the exact same way we did inside the fund, except they don't have to spend all day looking at charts. All of the work we used to do, all of the data crunching, the risk modeling, and the timing, it's all baked right into each code. All you have to do is punch the code into your brokerage account, and it gives you the exact same kind of setup we traded professionally. Only now you can do it right from your cell phone. That's the beauty of it all. It's the exact kind of risk-managed trading I did for my hedge fund, except you don't have to be a hedge fund. All you need to do is have the code.
So you don't even need the market to go up to make money here, right?
Well, Kim, we've released over 52 money-making skim codes already, and some of the biggest payouts came right in the middle of those snap sell-offs that seem to come out of nowhere lately. So to answer the question, no, we don't need the market to go up. Even if the market crashed tomorrow, we could keep skimming profits.
I love the sound of that. Well, you're about to show us how this strategy works today, and by the time we're done with today's interview, everyone watching today will know exactly what these skim codes are and how they work, how you could use these codes to go for payouts of $6,316 or more over and over again without ever buying a single stock, and how to get your first skim code from Larry in your email inbox, potentially as soon as tomorrow morning.
That's right. These opportunities can happen fast too, so time is of the essence.
And speaking of that, what exactly do we need to use these skim codes?
Well, I have good news for you, Kim. You don't need to be an accredited investor, you don't need to be an insider, and you don't need to have a high net worth. You'll just need a computer with an internet connection, or you can even do this on your cell phone, an ordinary brokerage account with the ability to receive money, and the right codes, which I'm sharing all the time. That's all you need to potentially make up to $6,316 over and over again, and you could make even more money, much more money.
So Larry, let me make sure I have this straight. I open up my brokerage account, a totally ordinary brokerage account like Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood. All I do is punch in one of these skim codes, and with the right timing, I could have made $6,316, and I could do whatever I want with that money. I could spend it on my car or mortgage payment, maybe set it aside for a nice vacation each year, or even use these skim codes in a retirement account and watch the money grow tax-free.
That's right. I mean, it's not going to let you quit your job tomorrow or buy a mansion, right?
Right.
But it could be a really nice chunk of money to have every single month. You can ask the folks who are getting these codes from me right now.
Speaking of that, we actually have some notes from some of them, Larry. Brendan D. emailed to say, making profits with my laptop is absolutely priceless. Words cannot describe, Larry, the gratitude for sharing the wisdom you've gathered with average Joes like myself. Rich R. said, $893 profit in 8 days. Krista A. said, I'm already up over $1,600. Harry A. said, total profit $2,056. And Augusto A. simply said, give us more.
Well, I can't blame him. Once you feel what it's like to make money with these skim codes, you just want to do it over and over again. The good thing is you can. I'll explain exactly how anyone can receive the next one, and I'll show you exactly how to use them with your brokerage account. In fact, I'll demonstrate the whole thing with my cell phone.
That sounds great, but look, Larry, how is this even possible? I mean, I understand how people usually make money from the financial markets. They buy a stock, wait for the price to go up, then sell and take a profit.
Or, Kim, they wait for the price to go down and they take a loss.
Right, that's true too. We all know that happens a lot. But you're saying it's possible to make money in the market without taking the risk?
Exactly. Instead of buying stocks, we can skim money from the market thanks to other people's stock trades. And it doesn't matter whether they're buying because the market is booming or they're selling because the market is crashing. We just need to see transactions. And the more we see, the better we do.
Okay, so just to be clear, we're talking about the transactions between other people when they buy and sell stocks.
Right. And here's how it works, Kim. When the market goes crazy, there are a huge number of stock trades every day. And the more trades, the more trading volume, as we call it, the bigger and faster our skims tend to hit. Take a look at this chart, Kim. It shows the trading volume across the S&P 500. I call it the heartbeat of the market. And every single one of these volume spikes is a huge skimming opportunity.
Wow, it's going crazy. If that was your heart, you'd be in trouble.
Well, maybe, Kim, or maybe just really excited. It doesn't matter either way because the chart looks like this, whether the market is booming or crashing.
And that's because more and more people are trading stocks?
That's right. And according to the Washington Post, 62% of Americans now own stock. That's more than ever before. The Wall Street Journal said that more working class Americans than ever are investing in the stock market. And in the first half of 2025, 6.6 trillion in stocks changed hands, and that's a record.
That's incredible. I'm guessing that's because the market keeps hitting all-time highs. People just keep buying and buying.
You're right. Folks are loving stocks right now.
Yeah, they are. So why shouldn't everyone watching this interview just go out there, put all their money into stocks, and make a serious profit by this time next year?
Well, Kim, there's a much better way. Instead of buying stocks and waiting a year, with the right code, you could potentially skim as much as $30,000 from the market in a week, but without risking a dime in stocks or even caring whether the market goes up or down.
Okay, whoa. Wait a minute, Larry. I know you're the man who generated $274 million of profit at your fund, but this sounds hard to believe even coming from you. You're telling me these codes can unlock $30,000 profits?
It's an extraordinary result, Kim, but I've seen it happen with my own eyes. Think about this. The S&P 500 delivered about 23% return in 2024. You could have collected $1,150 from a $5,000 stock portfolio.
Well, that's a great year by anyone's standards.
For sure, but here's the thing. With the right code, you could have skimmed way more without risking a penny in stocks.
How much more?
That's what I'm saying, Kim. $30,000.
Wow, that is incredible. So with the right skim code, I could have turned that $5,000 into $30,000 in a year?
No, Kim, with the right code and getting the timing just right, you could have turned $5,000 into $30,000 in as little as one day.
Well, okay, hang on. I'm getting what? 25 times more than I would have made with stocks? But instead of having my money tied up for a year, I'm doing it in just one day?
Exactly. We've seen it happen. Of course, it doesn't always happen in just one day. Usually the opportunities take a few weeks to play out, but it is possible to get that payout in just one day.
But come on, Larry, it can't be that easy. You're not trying to tell me this works every time.
No, of course not. But 84% of our skim code trades have paid out.
That's amazing. So the potential gains could definitely make up for the losses and then some.
Exactly. This chart shows some of the money-making codes that we've sent out to our email list.
Just look at those payouts. They are coming fast.
Yeah, you can see where my followers had the chance to skim 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 or more time and time again. That's 52 money-making skim codes with an average payout of $1,580.
That can really add up. So how do we start actually making this money, Larry?
Well, let's pull up our first case study and I'll show you. And whenever I say case study, Kim, I'm talking about a real skim code trade I found myself and sent to my followers. So take a look at this. We saw a huge spike in trading volume and it caused the market to pop 1.8% in a week. So you could have made $90 from your hypothetical $5,000 stock portfolio.
$90 in a week? That's not terrible.
But Kim, if you really wanted to make money from this move, you or any of the folks at home, all you had to do was open up your regular brokerage account, Follow the straightforward instructions I send out to my followers that day, and you could have skimmed $3,472 in just a week. That means skimming would have paid you over 37 times more, and that's just one case study. We have dozens more.
Wow. So all I had to do is open an email from you, punch the details into my brokerage account, and I could have made almost $3,472 instead of $90 in the exact same amount of time. How could I not want to at least give this a try, right? For every $1,000 I make from the market's next rally, I could make $10,000 or $20,000 or much more from what you're saying.
100%, Kim, but keep in mind we just need transactions. We don't need the market to move in a particular direction.
You're just harnessing the power of these transaction spikes, right? The heartbeat of the market you showed us earlier.
That's right, Kim. Transactions spike during rallies and pullbacks. So whenever you see the market going up or down, for every $1,000 stock investors made or lost, you could have made $10,000, $17,000, or even $37,000, no matter which way the market moved.
I like that a lot more. Okay, I got it. This is making so much more sense now. We don't need the market to go up or down. We just need it to move in either direction. And when that happens, we can collect this cash practically on demand.
That's it, Kim. You got it.
Great. Because honestly, the market could have a huge pullback tomorrow for all we know. I mean, we've seen that happen countless times in the last few years alone.
And that's not a problem for me. And in that case, you could go for even bigger payouts. That's what I love about Skim Codes.
Okay, then, Larry, show us how we can collect our first skim starting as early as tomorrow, even if there's a market pullback.
Okay, Kim, let me show you another case study. And to be clear, this is from a real code I sent out to my followers. And in this case, there was a huge 8.2% pullback in just over a week. So stock investors lost about $420 for every $5,000 they had invested.
Ouch. Talk about a bad week in the markets. But with your skim code, your followers could have somehow profited from this move?
Yes, and with $5,000, you could have skimmed $6,361. And to be clear, that's pure profit. So you cashed out with $11,361 in total, while stock investors were losing money.
Yeah, well, stock investors were losing money and sleep and maybe even their hair.
Right, Kim. And smaller pullbacks can pay out thousands too. You'll see what I mean with my next case study.
All right. Yeah, I can see here that stocks lost 3.1%.
Right, but our followers could have turned that correction into $4,440 in pure profit.
Wow, I got to say, that sure sounds a whole lot better than a 3.1% loss.
Well, Kim, are you starting to see the magic?
I am definitely seeing the magic, Larry, and I've got to say, I'm really wanting to give this a shot.
Well, Kim, I'm glad you're with us on this, and actually bigger gains are possible. In extraordinary cases, they can be much bigger. Let's look at our next example, and I'll show you.
Let's do it. Okay, so it looks like the market went down about 0.2% in one day.
Yeah, basically a sideways day. Stock investors lost about $10 for every $5,000 they had invested.
And how about your skimmers?
From that same move, skimmers could have collected $12,350 and then another $18,650 and then another $33,850, all coming from the same tiny move.
Really? It's possible to do this multiple times per day?
With the right codes and the right timing, it's absolutely possible. Another advantage to skimming over trading. Let's take a closer look at an extraordinary example. A skim hit at 11:49 Eastern Time. And starting with $5,000, the right code, you could have collected over $12,000.
So $12,350 versus a $10 loss.
But later that day, you could have skimmed another $18,650.
Incredible. It just keeps going here.
And that's not all. At 2:55 p.m., you could have skimmed another $33,850 into your account.
All while stock investors made nothing.
That's right.
Wow, all from knowing the right codes. But here's my next question, Larry. When I punch this code into my brokerage account, what exactly is going on?
It all comes down to ETFs, Kim, exchange traded funds.
Those are the funds that track things like the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, right? They trade on the regular markets just like a stock.
Exactly. The price moves up and down with the market, but you can buy and sell them just like a stock, like trading Apple or Tesla.
Okay, now it's starting to make sense, Larry. When you were making over $250 million for your hedge fund, ETFs were at the core of your strategy.
That's right. And this is the exact same strategy, but in a way anyone can do. Each skim code points to a short-term options trade, basically a small, well-timed trade on a major ETF like the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq QQQ. These are the exact kinds of trades I use to make money for my fund, only now this whole setup is simplified into one small code. When you type the skim code into your account, it instantly pulls up the trade I'm targeting. Everything, the research and the timing, the risk management is already built into the code. You just punch the skim code into your account and it pulls up the exact same trade I'm looking at. You don't have to figure out a thing.
I get it now. Okay, the code is like all of your work and experience packed into one line that anyone can type into their account. It tells your brokerage account exactly what trade to make. So it's like your professional hedge fund system, simplified enough for anyone to use.
Exactly, Kim. It's the method I used with my hedge fund to make $274 million, and it's accessible to anyone who can log into a brokerage account. You just review the trade and decide how much you want to invest. Everything else is already figured out for you, and the results have been excellent, even by my standards. Take a look at this next example. This time the market popped 1.61% in one day, meaning your $5,000 stock portfolio would have made $80. But from the same move, you could have made way more, and you could have done it multiple times in the same day. Check out these gains, Kim. You're looking at one extraordinary day.
You said it. Look at that. So instead of making $80, we could have pocketed $3,750. That was just at 9:43 a.m., a few minutes after the market opened.
And Kim, the payouts kept coming.
Now, Larry, can I be seeing this right? I could have skimmed another $8,400 at 10:11 a.m. Then I could have logged back on and skimmed yet another $24,200 same day and another $31,125, all starting with just $5,000.
Kim, you're right. You're seeing that totally correct.
Okay, but what about that really crazy number there? It looks like I could have skimmed $67,500 at 10:03 a.m. That's 1,350% in 31 minutes, Larry. Is that even real?
Kim, it's real, although of course these are some of the best performing examples and they would have taken impeccable timing. I can't promise a 1,350% winner. You're more likely to see 30, 50, or even 100% wins, which could still make you thousands of dollars a month. But huge gains are possible. We're starting to see these breakout days more and more often now.
So let's just think about that for a minute. $67,500, starting with $5,000 in 31 minutes, all just from simple options on an ETF through a regular brokerage account, and all just with the right skim code.
That's right. Anyone who can buy or sell stocks is capable of skimming. All you'll have to do is punch in the right code.
And folks, this is coming from the single best options trader on earth, in my view. You started in the trading pits of the CBOE, the Chicago Board Options Exchange, and you've used options on ETFs to crush the markets for decades now. So skim codes look like the latest version of a very successful strategy. Fair to say?
That's right. But because so many people are trading stocks right now, the potential gains are like nothing we've ever seen before.
So here's my next question. I know these codes are just pointing to simple options trades on ETFs, just small, well-timed trades, but how do you know what options to buy and when?
Well, Kim, rather than bore you with a long explanation, let me show you with another one of our real world case studies.
Sounds good. So, what are we looking at here, Larry?
You can see the two lines on the chart. The blue line tracks the market's current price. The orange line shows the price trend. If the orange line is moving up, the market is in an uptrend.
And that's what we're seeing here.
Right, so you can see here how the blue and orange lines have crossed. That's what we'll call the confirmation cross. When we see the cross, we know it's time to take our skim. All you do is buy an option on an ETF before the market moves and cash out right after the move takes place.
That really is such a simple strategy. So, what happened here?
Well, the confirmation cross formed, and look, the market spiked right after.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can see it there. Boom, right after the cross formed.
Correct. The confirmation cross ultimately led to an upcoming 2.3% rally in the market.
But how could you tell the market was about to go up versus down?
Let's look at the confirmation cross again. You can see how the orange price line is moving up through the circle.
Okay, yeah, very clear. So that means the market is about to rally?
Bingo. So in this case, the confirmation cross formed, the market jumped 2.3%, so you could have made $115 by investing $5,000 in the S&P 500.
And I'll bet you could have made much more from skimming, right?
Correct. In this case study, we were able to skim $3,346 from the same $5,000 investment.
From the same exact move.
That's right. So you can see this isn't get-rich-quick stuff at all. You don't have to go for long shot gambles. Instead, we're going for consistent payouts over and over again.
And that's exactly what you're seeing.
Absolutely. Let me show you another case study from our files.
Sounds good. Okay, I see the confirmation cross this time, Larry. You see the blue line is going down, but the orange trend line is going up. And sure enough, the market shoots up right after.
Yes, this was a really nice rally. The market rocketed up 1.8% in a week. So you could have made $90 from a $5,000 investment in the S&P 500.
But with your Skim code, we avoided risking all that cash in stocks. And I assume we could have made more money too.
Well, Kim, you can ask my inner circle of followers. They saw a quick 69% windfall from the same move. Enough to hand you $3,346 in pure profit from the same opportunity, starting with the same $5,000.
Meaning your followers were able to crush the market 36 to 1. So literally every time stock investors make money, you can make even more.
That's right. And we can skim just as much when the market is moving down instead.
All right, fine. So let's say I think there's going to be a huge correction soon, or maybe even a crash. Imagine I thought the AI hype is about to come out of the market. These skim codes could still make sense for me?
No doubt. Heck, you could even make more. Let's look at our next case study now.
Wow. Okay, this one's a little different. I still see the confirmation cross there, Larry, but the orange price trend line is headed down. So that means the market's about to fall, right?
That's right. Now, I hope the folks watching at home can see the pattern. In this case, there was a huge correction. The market dipped 3.9%, meaning that investors lost $195 for every $5,000 they had invested in the market.
But with skimming, you actually made money?
My followers were able to skim $3,695 in profits from the same nosedive with a $5,000 investment, and in the same amount of time.
Nice. So stock investors had to explain to their spouses how they lost all that money. Meanwhile, you were able to deliver nearly $3,700 in cold hard cash.
Well, that's what I really love about these skim codes, Kim. You don't need to worry about the markets. You don't need to worry about the economy or unemployment or the Fed. You don't need to worry about inflation or the dollar. Just punch one of these codes into your brokerage account and you can start going for these payouts too.
That's so simple. All right, I think I'm starting to get the gist here. We're using this confirmation cross indicator to confirm the price trend. Then you're just using options to turn those price moves into huge potential gains. That's it.
Absolutely.
And with more people trading stocks than ever before, there are huge price movements in the market all the time. And that's what's making this such a historic and timely opportunity.
You got it, Kim. But look, you don't actually need huge price movements to do this. Small moves work too. Take a look at our next case study.
Great. Let's go ahead and pull it up.
This one was during a short, quiet stretch in the market. Investors were waiting for what the Fed was going to do next, and the headlines were mixed totally. The S&P 500 barely moved. Over the entire 20-day period, it went down just 1.04%.
So almost nothing. Maybe $50 on every 5 grand in the index.
Exactly. But while most investors saw next to no action, our Skim Codes on the same move made $2,674 from that small move.
Great, but it all starts with a confirmation cross.
Well, Kim, it actually all ends with the confirmation cross. That's the final signal, and in some ways the most important. But no serious strategy would rely on only one indicator. It doesn't matter how powerful that indicator may be.
So walk us through the rest of your strategy and give us the details on how we can get started, even if we have no experience with this stuff.
Sure, Kim. So our strategy uses 19 core indicators, including the confirmation cross. I call them my skim signals. They work together to slash risk first. That's one of the most important things. Second, they help us to pinpoint the biggest skim opportunities over and over again.
Okay, so besides the confirmation cross, what are some of these other indicators that you use?
Well, some of our additional signals include stuff like daily transaction volume, weekly transaction volume, volume delta 10-day, volume delta 20 days, and the list goes on. But I don't want to bore you with that. The important thing is how they work together to help us find the best codes and the biggest skim opportunities.
You know what I really love is you've boiled it all down into 3 simple steps here today. So let's take a look at those steps now, Larry, and then show us how to collect our first skim. Sound good?
Sure, Kim. Let's take a look at the 3 basic steps to skimming. I think you'll be shocked at how simple this actually is.
Well, you know I like simple, Larry, especially when it's also profitable.
Okay, so step 1 is confirm the trend.
Confirm the trend. Got it.
That just means confirm if the market is heading up or down.
Okay, and we've seen how to do that with the confirmation cross, correct?
Bingo. We use our confirmation cross as the final signal there. And once we determine if the market is heading up or down, we use an option on the S&P 500 ETF or other ETFs to turn that movement into money fast.
So step number 2, buy an option. But again, how do I know which option to buy?
Well, Kim, if the market is going up, we use call options. We make money on the upside with call options. If the market is heading down, we use put options, and they work well when the market is moving down. And when the market moves 3, 2, or even 1% in either direction, ETF options can soar 100 or even 1,000% or more. Which brings us to step 3, sell the option and take your skim.
So that's it. 3 simple steps, and I could be crushing the market 10, 20, even 50 to 1 and more. And I can do this over and over again. It doesn't matter if stocks are soaring or sinking.
For sure, so long as we have price action, that's correct. Even better, you can execute a skim trade in just a few minutes. In fact, I actually want to show you exactly how easy this is to do.
And you're going to demonstrate it on your cell phone for us?
No, I'll go one better than that, Kim. I'll get you to demonstrate it on your cell phone.
Wait, what?
You got a brokerage app installed, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let me get my phone here for my producer. Thank you. Yes, okay, here it is.
All right, well, I sent you an email earlier today. It contains one of my Skim codes.
Okay, I got it here.
And to be clear, I'm not recommending this trade now, but for demonstration purposes, I'll show you how it works for people on my email list.
Okay, oh yeah, I see it here in my email. And what do I do now, though?
Well, you should see all the details you need to make a trade. Just take that information and go to your brokerage account.
All right, let me pull that up. Okay, and I got it here. What do I do now?
In your brokerage account, navigate the options section and then punch in those details right in there.
Okay, doing that now. All right, great. And look, it brought up the options trade. All right, that's easy.
That's right. Now, all you'll have to do is decide how much you want to invest. You can go for $5,000, like in our examples, or 1,000 or even less, and then just click that button. That's it.
Wow, that is so simple and just as easy as buying a stock.
Right. If you can buy or sell stocks, you can do this. And then when it's time to sell, you just select sell.
I see it. Wow. So placing these skims is what, less than a couple of minutes of actual work. I can really see how you're having so much fun with this, Larry.
Yeah, and it's just a totally different way to make some money from the market. And it's incredibly straightforward. You just need an options account enabled in your brokerage account.
And that's super easy, right? I mean, every major brokerage, Schwab, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, Robinhood, they all let you enable options in minutes.
Yeah, and if you never traded options before, you don't need to worry about that. It's just a quick setting in your brokerage account, not some special qualification.
All right, Larry, let's go ahead and pull up one last skimming case study.
Okay, look at this. This time you could have skimmed $2,941 in one day.
One day.
That's right. Open and close on the very same day, April 8th, 2025. And while most traders were panicking over the new tariff headlines, the S&P 500 dropped 1.6% in a single session.
So ordinary investors were losing money again.
Exactly. Anyone holding an index fund or a 401k position that day saw their money vanish. But if you had my Skim code, you could have made $2,941 gain on a simple $5,000 trade.
So even on a pretty worrying day for almost everyone else, your followers could have pulled in nearly $3,000.
Right. And that's the beauty of it, Kim. If you got the right Skim code, you simply don't care about any of that stuff. Up moves, down moves, they're all profit opportunities.
Gotta say, I'm convinced, Larry, this all makes a lot of sense. So even if someone doesn't know much about trading or the markets at all, how do we get started?
I'm giving away a special report to help everyone get started. It includes the full details of the strategy so that anyone can find these skim opportunities for themselves.
And tell us what's inside the report.
It contains everything you need to get started. I'll explain everything you need to know in the simplest way possible. That means that even if you are new to options, you can learn this.
So you're arming people with the exact same strategy you use to find these skim codes and teaching it to them from the beginning to end. Wow, that's such a game changer.
Absolutely. I want to empower ordinary folks and give them the chance to find these huge payouts too.
We appreciate that. But listen, Larry, I've got to be honest. I'm not sure that I have time to sit around and look at charts to find these opportunities in financial markets. Earlier, you were talking about actually sending out the full instructions.
That's right. Every time I find a skim code, I send out an email alert to my followers. All you have to do is punch the details into your brokerage account, just like I showed you, and you're in.
So your email alerts explain everything we need to know, down to the skim code and full instructions on how to use it?
Exactly. We do all of the hard work for you. Then we give you the skim code and the full step-by-step instructions. All you have to do is punch it into your brokerage account and then decide how much money you want to invest. That's it. And it can be as little as a few $100s or more than $5,000. It's all up to you.
And how do we get our names on the list to get your codes?
Well, Kim, that could be the best part of all. I'll send you these urgent email alerts every time I find a great skim code for free. All I ask in return is you agree to take my research for a test drive today.
Okay.
I have a special service called One Ticker Trader, and I'll provide these skim code trades to One Ticker Trader members for free.
So we can get your skim codes and the full instructions for using them just by trying One Ticker Trader?
That's right, but only for a limited time.
Well, Larry, I'm familiar with One Ticker Trader and I know how good it is. It's basically a service where you send some of your best hedge fund level analysis.
That's right. I use the exact same trading strategy I used at my hedge fund, but instead of using them to make money for big institutional clients like banks and billionaires, I send the analysis and the recommendations I find to ordinary people. You can make the trade even if you have no experience at all.
That includes both buy and sell recommendations.
That's right. When it's time to sell and take the profit, I'll alert you to that as well.
Okay, so if I try out One Ticker Trader, I'm going to get an entire year of your best financial analysis, and you'll send me your future skim codes for the next 12 months for free. Is that right?
That's right. I really wanted to make this a no-brainer. So with this setup, you get access to my best money-making ideas, research, and analysis. Plus, you get all of the details you'll need to actually follow my recommendations for free.
So, Larry, what if someone's out there watching and they really want to give your service a try, but they've never traded options before?
Well, that's why I am including one more bonus for folks who sign up today. It's a guide to trading options my way, written in easy to understand terms. It's called Larry's Guide to Options. And even if you have absolutely no clue about all of this stuff, my guide will show you exactly how I trade and how you can trade them just like me.
Well, folks, I've read this guide, and it really is written in the simplest way possible. Larry will walk you through everything from the beginning. Most important, you'll discover Larry's proprietary strategy for trading options without the crazy risk. With this guide, anyone can get started trading options, whether we're talking about QQQ options, SPY options, or other ETF options. It's all the same basic strategy, and it's as easy as buying and selling stocks. This guide will show you everything you need to know to get started. What's more, with these plays, your risk is limited to the amount paid for the options contract. You get to define exactly how much you want to risk. As Larry says, that could be as little as a few $100s. Again, you send out all of your skim codes via email alert, correct? So all we have to do is watch our email inbox for instructions.
Absolutely, Kim. And we send push notifications out through the Opportunistic Trader mobile app too.
Oh, that's great. That means we'll never miss a trade no matter where we are. Folks, whenever Larry identifies an upcoming opportunity, you'll receive an action alert to your email inbox. And if you download the free app, notifications on your cell phone too. It'll provide you with details of the opportunity right down to the skim code, ready for you to punch into your brokerage app. You've really made it as easy as possible.
We try, Kim, and a lot of our members have gotten great results.
Oh, I'll say. I've seen some of the notes from your members, and they're pretty incredible. I love this one. Virginia B said it's working, $500 up so far. I might add that I'm 90 years old, so if I can do it, anyone can. Thomas D said a profit of $317. Not bad for a one-day trade. Jason V said, finally a service that delivers profitable results. Renat T said, I made $1,230 so far. And Larry, I could go on and on with notes from these folks. They clearly appreciate your work.
Well, that's why I'm doing it, Kim. I'm so pleased to help these folks. As you can see, they're not making huge amounts of money, but they have the chance to make money steadily without taking huge risks. That's what my work is all about. Giving ordinary folks the chance to skim money from the market, whether the market is going up or down.
Well, I'm sure a lot of folks out there want to get started skimming too. And as you can imagine, over the years, people have paid a lot of money to access Larry's ideas and strategies. When he ran his hedge fund, you'd have to pay an annual fee of at least $10,000 just to get started and invest a minimum of $1 million. The good news is you won't have to pay anything close to that. Given that you're probably new to Larry's work, and given that you've probably never used an approach like this before, a one-year membership to One Ticker Trader retails for just $499.
And I've arranged an even better price, Kim. If you join right now, you can get started for a fraction of the retail price.
Am I reading this right, Larry? You're offering a more than 80% discount?
You're reading it right, Kim. You can get started for just $79. That comes out to just 22 cents a day.
Remember, folks, we're talking about a man who's generated hundreds of millions of dollars in wealth, who had 20 profitable years in a row, and who, according to Barron's, was one of the top moneymakers in the entire world. To access an entire year of his ideas for such a low price, that's a steal.
Well, Kim, we have to charge for this research because it costs so much money to produce. We have a team of dedicated professionals working on this alongside me. So this is the lowest possible price I can offer. There is only one catch. I can't guarantee this price will be available for long. My publishers reserve the right to raise it at any time without notice.
Well, folks, you heard him. Please don't wait around and let this pass you by. You should see a Join Now button on your screen. Go ahead and click it now. You'll need to move fast here. Again, just click the button right now and claim your spot. Here's a recap of everything you get when you join. Your first membership benefit is all of Larry's Skim Codes over the next 12 months. He'll email the full instructions to you directly when the time is right, and also send an alert to the mobile app on your phone so you don't miss it. Larry only sends out extremely high conviction trades. So some months you may get 2 or 3 recommendations, other months you may only get 1. But either way, the goal of each trade is to give you the chance at a sizable windfall. Secondly, you'll also get the benefit of Larry's market analysis. He regularly sends out hedge fund level breakdowns of the market for his members, so you'll always be on top of what's going on, no matter what's around the corner. On top of that, you'll also get Larry's special report, his Skim Trade Blueprint, and Larry's Guide to Options. Like I said, these reports are not available anywhere else. The only way you can get them at this price is through this special offer. Plus, you're also protected by Larry's 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If this fails to deliver in the way he's explained here, if you aren't happy for any reason at all, just get in touch with Larry's customer service team, either by phone or email, and let them know, and they'll arrange a full refund. That means every penny back if you aren't happy.
Listen, I've been running this strategy for years now. We've sent out money-making codes during huge sell-offs. We sent out money-making codes when the market was rallying, and we've optimized it for the biggest bull market in years. Now, that doesn't mean you should invest more than you can afford to lose. All investments carry risk, and past performance does not indicate future success. But I am more confident in this strategy than I've ever been in my 40-year career. So if you aren't happy for any reason at all, just let us know. We'll refund you every single penny.
That's another reason we can't leave this offer open long, folks. That's a huge risk Larry's taking on there.
Well, I'm incredibly confident in this strategy, Kim. It works. So I'm sure people are going to love One Ticker Trader.
I'm sure they are. Okay, folks, it is action time. Go ahead and click the button on your screen to get started. And remember, this is an extremely limited time offer. Larry's given his very best price and a cast iron money-back guarantee. That means there's zero risk in joining. But once the doors close, the opportunity will be gone forever. So don't miss out. You can get started in just a few minutes. Click the button to start a no-risk membership to Larry's research service, One Ticker Trader, and get his next Skim code in your email inbox. Before we go, Larry, is there anything else?
Well, when I was running my hedge fund, our goal was to make steady and consistent profits, no matter what was happening in the market. In other words, to put a P on the page, and P is for profit. And that's exactly what I want to do for the folks at home. Let's put a P on the page together.
Let's do it. Folks, to get started, simply click on the button. It will take you to a secure sign-up sheet where you can review everything one last time. For Larry Benedict, I'm Kim Monning signing off. Thanks so much for joining us. you.